let's see what we can do. I always start with a really good base because I think it's really good to be moisturized because you're going to be putting a lot of shit on your face. And nobody likes that. Hydro Boost is my favorite right now. It's cheaper than what can be out there. I mean, I've seen people pay $100 for a face serum. I'm sorry, I don't really care that much. I'm enjoying my gray hairs coming in. But I do like to take care of my face a little bit more just because, you know, that's where you get to start to tell on my family. My favorite, I use it daytime and nighttime moisturizer. So I do serum, eye cream, and then just a moisturizer for all over face and neck. Don't forget your neck. Moisture. My eyebrows aren't very thick, which is the trend right now. So I use Jaclyn Hill palette and I go in with this color and I just kind of fill it in. Fill in the lines to make them a little bit more. So I don't know how many times I have drawn on eyebrows that are not natural looking at all. I don't even think these are very natural looking, but you know, 'tis the season and I can't wait for it to go back to the 90s so that my eyebrows are back in style. But as you can see, just by brushing them down, you can really see where your natural arch is. And then you just kind of draw it down the brow bone and you can feel that just around your socket. You're going to repeat it underneath and then you're going to fill it out. And I'll see you soon. Again, underneath, right where the hair stops. You don't need to make anything exaggerated unless you want to. If you want that, I can definitely make a video showing you how to get that eccentric look, but you know, it's just not something that I do day to day. I remember that I am going in and going to be cleaning this up, so I know that you're like, but it might look really messy right now if you're doing this at home by yourself. Remember, you're always going in, you're going to clean it up. And yes, to anyone that's wondering, I cannot wait to get my dip brow in. I got BH Cosmetics Duo dip brow. And then after that, you can use a brow brush or a brow gel and you just shape that out. You pluck these back up and you put this all over the brow. Let me see if I can do that really quick while I'm on this segment. This is my first time editing a video, so it's gonna suck, sorry. Or it could be really entertaining. I'm gonna say it's gonna be entertaining, just seeing how messy this gets before the final product is done. Because like, if you start a makeup project where you're going like full glam, you get that feeling of, God, it's so much and it's too much. And then when you're finished, you're like, oh, it wasn't bad. It was just a lot of dye and crazy things. So this eyebrow is done until it's time for shaping. I'm going to finish this one and then I'll come right. I look like a Muppet and that's okay. I take one of my cheaper foundations. I only have two foundations, but I take the cheaper of the two because I use the other one, the full foundation when I do these looks. And I put it on the back of my hand. And that's usually how I apply foundation anyway. That's why you'll always see makeup wipes. But you take the flat brush end and just start cleaning up. Like, you can really give yourself an arch if you want to. Just clean up that huge mess that we just made. And it will look good. I know that it kind of like, I remember the first time I did eyebrows back in high school. You have that feeling of like, this just looks very odd. But you do have to wait for the whole look to be completed, because otherwise you're not giving yourself a true vision of what is actually going on. Just because eyebrows look stupid crazy when you're, wearing nothing but eyebrows, right? So you just want to shape them out. Keep using, some people use concealer. I find that makes my skin too light. but I'm also very pale. And yeah, you just clean it out. There. And then with this, I just kind of start to blend that part out. I do get the eyelid because I do the eyelids before I put on my foundation if I'm doing a glamour look. So you'll see me move this all over my eye, but that's just my preference. And let me clean up this other one, and then... So if you do your foundation first, it is very common for you to take your piece of tape, put it onto your hand, rip it off a couple times to make it less sticky. That will take it away from taking away most of your makeup. However, I suggest if you're going to do tape to do what I'm doing this way, and if you do your if you do your foundation first, that's fine. Just make sure to there are special expensive eye makeup little pads that you can put on your eyes, and they work really well. I'm just poor, so dollar store. So I'm going in with Cry on My Couch. Hilarious, because true for me at the moment. And just kind of giving it a base color all around. It is a very nude color on somebody of my skin tone. Now remember, somebody of a darker skin tone is going to look a little bit more white on. Hopefully I can do my friend Amelia's look on here sometime just to kind of show it. But since it's Christmas, or well, not Christmas, it's fall, I've decided to kind of go with a darker theme just because it is autumn. You know, I'm not looking for florals at the moment. So I'm going to take these two colors. We have, what is this? Controversy and Exposed. This is going to go here, and then I'm going to use Exposed to lighten it up. And then I'm going to put, perfect, My Apology to deepen that crease, and then we're going to cut the crease out. So I will see you in just a moment. This is going to be fun. So already, if you don't do a lot of makeup, purple is a really hard color to pull. I don't know what's wrong with the pigmentation, if sometimes it just goes on the skin like too red or too blue, but look, like, I don't know if you can see how purple that is. It's a really good purple color. I do both sides. Again, Jesus, I am just setting myself up. But I do both sides at the same time because I like my brushes to be clean. Like I have a secondary brush right underneath me right now to do the blend out for this color, because I'm going to take this color and put it right here on top to make it kind of blend in. And that way it's not just like a harsh line. It could turn out that way anyways. Like I said, I don't really know where I'm going until I get there. So this is just, it's fun for me. But if you are into the color purple and need a good purple, theirs is good. And then if you buy BH has a really good purple. You usually have to darken it a little bit with a little bit of black, but it comes out really well. Pretty good. So again, you're going to take a little. You don't need that much. And we're gonna cut out a crease. Hey Liam, would you feed your dogs? I know it. I'm a mean mama. And then I put it on my bottom lash right here. And then as you've seen it, like everybody do, you just look up. And that gives us a pattern of where we want to start drawing. And it's just foundation. I get not wanting to mess it up, but it is, I mean, you can go in and redo it. But yeah, you just kind of pat it on there where you want it. I just do a half cut crease for this look. I have an idea of where I'm going now. So yeah, I'm gonna do this to the other side and I'll see you. So for the crease that I just created, I'm gonna take like a flat brush. You can see I was using the Jaclyn Hill palette yesterday. I'm gonna take the flat brush and I'm gonna put sleep paralysis here, and then I'm gonna blend it out with Diet Cola, and I'll be right back. I am not liking how sleep paralysis turned out, so I'm actually gonna go in with the color Trisha. It's this very bright pink color. And we'll see how that works. I really don't like how that was. I like that a lot better. And now you want to deepen that little crease that you made. So we're gonna go, I'm gonna go in with what's called Not a Fact. It's this one right here. And this one you have to have kind of like a steadier hand for, because you're gonna go over where that cut crease was and deepen it. Because that's what it's all about right now. I'm gonna do this to the other eye. And as I've said 20 billion times, I'm gonna go in with pigment. So cute. I'm gonna go in with pigment, and actually I wanna go in with my pills. It's a little bit lighter of a pink. And I'm just going to take that and blend out. You know, that's the thing, like some of these lines look really harsh, and I get how some people think like, geez, these lines are, you know, they're just harsh. But most of the time it's spent like blending this shit out because it's crazy. Yes. Next part, full foundation. I use Juvia's Place. Largest range selection, and I'm a huge advocate for more colors for people of color. And theirs goes almost to near like the color of my pencil, and I love that. NYX has a poreless primer. That's what I use. I put it on. Look at how it comes out though. See if it'll show you. Ooh. It's almost like popping a pimple, so it's really fun for me. It may not be fun for other people. So I do encourage you to check out if you're doing like a filler primer or just a primer. This is more of like a putty. And it does fall off your hand and then fall onto the floor. But more importantly, they're pet friendly, so the dogs can eat them. There's nothing toxic in them. Damn it. But it will go into fine lines. Now I use Morphe concealer. Actually, a friend of mine that you can find underneath Alicia Nation, she turned me on to this because we couldn't find anything. If you're like me, like you don't sleep, so it damages the underskin of your eyes. That's what that is. It's actually damaged. And she turned me on to this because it does do a pretty good job of covering those things up. And I'm doing that for contouring, so I know it looks weird. But now after that, again, blend. That's all. Okay, it's time for contouring. I use Too Faced, this palette. You can obviously tell I am not that shade. But between summer and winter, I am these shades. I take a flat brush. These are all, this is all BH. They are high quality. I enjoy the brushes a lot. I don't have enough brushes to say that they're high quality, but they are holding up really well, like even to washing. And they wash really easily, and then they dry quickly, which is something that you want because you want to wash your brushes at night and then be able to use them in the morning. Otherwise, you're like, wait a second, what am I using? So contouring is going to be making my forehead and my 5 head more into like a forehead, because apparently beauty doesn't like foreheads or nose or anything like that. So we're just gonna go ahead and do that. Oh, and they don't like this little area that you get when you reach my age, when you're 34, yeah, it's almost 35. But you keep blending that in, and then we're going to do the sides of our nose. I'm going to do the same to the other face, and I'll be right back. And we'll talk about highlighting. Well, I'll just talk about it now. I'm going to take this color and put it under my eyes, on my forehead, and everywhere that I put concealer. It's going to make the contour pop. For blush, obviously, I'm running out. This is Milani. It's been great because it even has like an illuminating thing in it. I don't know what it's called. Baked powder, blush. It doesn't have a name. I'm assuming the name wore off. But a good way. So just from what I see and what I do myself. I see sometimes people put blush up too high, too low. A good way, take a smile. Just fake it, like everything in your life, fake it. And then I'll give you a general basis of where it needs to go, the amount or the pigment that needs to go there, and then you just blend that out along the cheekbone and anywhere that you would naturally blush. It is setting powder time. I'm using NYX HD Studio. I prefer Maybelline Fix It. It doesn't have, I don't know if you're seeing this, but it doesn't have like the, almost like talc powder that comes off. I go in with a brush and I use the side of it. And it goes anywhere that you put concealer and anywhere that you want to lighten. And then it's just time to bake. You leave it on there. I put it on the side of my nose because, again, I have a larger nose and I like to make it look smaller sometimes. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I put this on the tip of my nose, again, just to bring light to it and then to make this contour a little bit harsher. You know, when people meet me in public, they're like, wow, you're a lot bigger than you look at your pictures. Honey, it's contour. It's shadows. You know, I can trick you with colors, and I can make my face look completely different just from using a bit of this stuff. And then, of course, the contour. While I wait for this to bake, we are going to go ahead and do my curling of eyelashes. If I can find my eyelash curler. This is not necessary. It is something that I have found works really well if you're going to be using falsies, which I'm going to be using some from Cannabish, or from Cannababes. They have an entire selection. I think I own most of them. But they're really good lashes and you can reuse them. So I'm going to go ahead and put on some BH Stellar Lash. Put on my fake lashes. I'll show those, and then, yeah. Time to wipe that baking off. As you can see, it kind of left that stark line right there. Make sure you get it, like, because I have fine lines underneath my eyeballs. So if they kind of pop out, I just kind of push over them and then keep going with that. But now you have your underlid that is ready to go. I'm using, this is, again, NYX. I don't like how these sharpen. I don't think that I'll buy them again. There are similar projects like this out there by Smashbox. But I'll go ahead and use what I have. I don't like how they're not sharpenable, or if they are, you have to like freeze them so that the gel doesn't do anything weird. But it's just adding like a layer, a depth to your eye socket. Okay, seriously, like the blood veins in my eyeballs always freaks me out. Like I can't watch people put on like, or put in contacts, but I can do that. I don't understand. And then you always, I mean, you always want to finish your look. So what I'm going to go in and do is utilize Mini Controversy. I'm going to use my boyfriend's purse. And you'll wonder, like, I wonder how they got their eyes to look that open. It's because we're putting shimmer inside the eye right here. And then right around the top of that brow bone right there. I don't know why. That is just how it looks good. It's right through there.
Hello.
I added a little bit of glitter liner to the top of this liner. And I will be using some of Blunt Barbie by Cannababes Cosmetics. Just to kind of put on top of here, and I'll probably put it on top of my highlight as well. My son is putting on makeup. But that is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and choose our highlight right now. I have a favorite highlighter palette, and this is it's Northern Lights by Jeffree Star. It gives me a bunch of, like, whatever I want. And that's what I really like about it. I'm going in with Anchorage. It's one of my favorites.
What is this? What is this?
That is a brow pencil.
A brow pencil? I guess I'll just straight on my eye first.
Don't put it on your eye. It doesn't go on your eye. It goes on your eyebrows.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I'm gonna sharpen up my eyebrows first.
Oh, okay. That's good. And now I'm going to do the other side, the nose, Cupid's bow, and my chin. All right. Well, there's that. I'm going to go in with, I'm not wearing my, Nathan. It's a Lip Velour, again, by Jeffree Star. I have a lot from him. But yeah, no, just giant lips. The big thing with this is, symmetry. So you want to be really careful to make that symmetric. I have a large Cupid's bow and then a large bottom lip. So it does take me about 2 dips to get the pigment that I want out of this. You don't really have to worry about symmetry as much with nudes, I don't feel, because it's not really, they're not that big of a change to me. And then what I have learned to make them look, hey Lee, can you turn that down? To look delicious is to put a highlighter onto the Cupid's bow and then in the center. So if you guys all thought that I had like some kind of lip gloss on, no, babe, that's Lip Velour. And I use it to make it a little bit more obvious. I'm going to go ahead and put on some fake lashes, some glitter, and some setting spray, and then I should be done. If you're going to be using, so you can see a little bit of glitter, but if you're going to be putting on like stickers or anything, you want to set first. I use Milani Make It Dewy. I don't like the matte look. I don't know why. It's not for me. They do make a matte series though, but I use that setting spray and then I just take the piece that I want, which is this piece, and it's stuck. There you go. You take the piece that you want, and while it's still wet, you apply it. Perfect. All right, Canna Babe Cosmetics, bring it. This is their glitter. It's wonderful. And then these are their lashes. These are called Cannabish. She uses a vendor. A lot of you guys are asking me how she makes these. She uses a vendor. I did talk to her about it, and she trusts her vendor. These are awesome. They're also reusable, so you can just wash them and continue. I mean, of course, they're tight. Like, you have to throw away your lashes at some point. But I've used these probably 4 times, and all that's on there is a little bit of glue on the inner part of the eye. Now I know why people do that. It's to focus. But I'm gonna put these on. And there we go. Final product. No complaints.